Okay, so when you're doing this, I see what you're saying. You're trying to get this surface, let's go boundary, and you're trying to loft this one to this one to this one in here, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then what you're trying to do is to use this edge as control point, this edge, and it's not liking it, so let's delete that. Why is it not liking it? Let's go with selection manager just to make sure it's not multiple sketches. I don't think it would be. Okay. So it's not giving me an error. Oh, come on, stop that. So I'm going to exit out of there. Okay, so this is one of those things, Megan, where I feel like you're trying to make a extremely complex surface all in one shot versus trying to make a few or a couple
Yeah.
surfaces. So one of the things too that we kind of spoke about today is let's just look at the basic surface. So if I was to come here, and again, like sculpting, we would want to have the surfaces sweep along the direction of the form. So I would want to use this as my start, and then I would want to use this and this as my guide to get there. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Now, if I wanted to use these to control it, I would want to have considerably more or a few more at least. And what I would want is kind of like what we were just talking about earlier today. So we want to have them follow that edge. So if I was to draw this curve that you were using as a guideline, I would want it to have it so that it's at a 90-degree tangency to that space. So that what that's going to do is it's going to take that bottom curve and it's going to wrap it up and around versus trying to do a step, step, step. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So I need to use this 3D spline.
No, you don't need to use a 3D spline. What you need to do is when you draw this profile curve, you need to create a plane and draw it on here. So let me delete this. Oh, let me get out of the sketch. So what I'm saying is you're starting here, instead of having it go through cross sections like this. So it's not like you're cutting wood and you're doing a cut, a cut, a cut. You've got to do it along a sweep. So we're going to take this edge and we're going to create a surface. Just going to do a simple extrude. So this is going to be our sketch plane. And what we're going to do is we're going to use this to draw on. So I'm going to create a sketch. Let me just hide that plane for my own sanity. And then what we'll do is we'll draw your spline there. There. We'll do exactly what you were doing before where we snapped it to the line. So for that we're going to make it, oh, nope. We'll pierce it, so now we know it's touching that edge. We'll do the same here. So just like you had here, you want this tangent, so you're doing a good job there. We're going to take this And we'll make it horizontal, I believe. Oh, I went the wrong way. We'll take this and we'll make it vertical. So now we've got kind of that same curve, but it's at a slightly different angle. So now it follows the natural path. I guess that's a better way of saying it. You want it to follow the natural path. So now if I come in, and I loft it, we're going to go from here to here. We'll use that. So now we're starting to get that form a little bit more controlled to do what you want it to do. Now you'd want to come back in and you want to kind of, you can see here where we've got nice control over that curve, which is right there. But then we kind of lose the control down here and here and down at the end. That's why, that's where, kind of like I was just talking to Pietro, this kind of tells you, well, hey, I need to draw a curve here and a curve here. So let's just hit accept. So what that means is, if I was drawing those planes, I'll come back and say, oh, so I need to draw one that's here. I probably need to draw another curve here. And again, I'm trying to make it parallel to the line. And then I probably need, so this is where we're talking about, you know, just like if your curve isn't giving you what you want, so you add points, this is the same as my surface isn't giving me what I want, so I need to add more guide curves. So let's exit out of there. What just happened here? Oh. So I'm going to edit that so that I can also extrude that. Why is it not selecting what I want? We just delete that. We're going to come back and we're going to extrude that. For some reason it doesn't want to let me extrude all the individual lines like it should. So let me just grab the sketch. There we go. I had to select the sketch versus the individual items. So what I'm going to want to do, just like what we did here, is draw the curve here, here, and over here. That's what's going to give us that nice smooth sweep. Now, at the same time, where you're trying to get this one to come in here, you can kind of see, well, this is mating up to here, but what is this supposed to be doing? It's not going to necessarily give you what you want. So if I try, oh, maybe it will. So let me just try to do that one individually. So we're going to go from here. I'm still a little confused that you don't have anything down here, but that's okay. We'll go there. We'll go there. And we need this to come to that point because we don't want it to go all the way across. So same thing, you've got your surface there, but you don't necessarily have full control over it. So that's why it looks a little wonky. But now if we come back, I'm just going to turn on all the sketches so we can see it. So there, now you've got the bottom. So I'm doing that separately. Now if I come up, what I can then do is go here, and then we'll use this edge, and we'll use this edge. And there's your surface, but now keep in mind, I haven't put in any of those cross sections you go through. So my suggestion would be to go through using these planes in place, draw your profile curves on these planes, and then loft this surface first through those profiles, and then do the bottom. And then I think you're going to get.
We left the stove top on.
Okay. So then I think that's going to work for you.
Okay, thank you.
Is it? Well, is that going in the direction that you're hoping for?
Yeah.
Okay. So I will. Let me just stop recording.